For me, it's also a surprise that we see a bunch of chameleons and we're actually back into the game and we have that first pick of Hey Gang, which is definitely a contested unit between the two, and we're flying back into the game. PINKROID, what do you answer to those? Definitely likes to use that Hey Gang as well, but also definitely likes to use that cigar. And the thing that I would like to answer to your question, Adam, we haven't really found a strong counter against that cigar, and that's the thing that I was surprised about, that these players have shown a lot of potential, but countering that cigar has been feeling difficult for all of the players so far.
Exactly, and those kind of picks, how do you work it out? I actually just want to point out as well, so far I do know that TIMBO and PINKROID have played each other once in ladder in the past 2 seasons. PINKROID coming out on top. So they don't play each other often, so they only have to go off what they've seen during these competitions, maybe what they've seen on replays when they weren't being deleted, to find out exactly what play style they could have done against each other. We see the cigar, we see the Miles from PINKROID.
Yeah, cigar and Miles. We actually haven't seen any combination of Miles plus Raccoon, but that could be something that we see right here at that moment. But on the other side, we also have the Fire Pure Vanilla Cookie together with the Jeremiah, so there's not too much side, or the damage on the side of TIMBO is not that much, and definitely has to be locking in the 4 and the 5 slot on that damage. PINKROID definitely still has options over in that 4 and the 5th slot to also add more damage, because currently the only damage dealer is Miles. We're going to go for Tessarion.
Is that trying Tessarion, trying to say, you pick that Julian at your own expense, my friend, because there's passives coming out. We've got a Hey Gang passive there, the Fire Vanilla Cookie as well. We've got the passive, but not with the Jeremiah. Yeah,
that's definitely an interesting unit. Tessarion we don't see used all too much. In this setup, it's pretty interesting as well. You do have the speed, but from the Draconi making it stronger. But on the other side, we're also going in for more Bruiser units with that Carnal.
Carnal being locked in, deciding for the Alexandra, his favorite unit from TIMBO has been locked in.
Yeah, definitely interesting picks here. And we see in Antares, that is also the favorite unit of PINKROID. I'm not entirely sure if he's locking it in. He's definitely thinking about it, because it is very strong into those ponies that switch from human or from pony form to human form, getting that additional turn. Antares can lock in between, but he actually takes it away and goes for a safer pick in the form of Riley.
Here we go then. Does it look like maybe TIMBO needs to take away some of the damage from PINKROID's side, or how is he going to combat this?
I would definitely say taking away some of the damage is very important. On the other side, you also could take away straight up that recovery that you have on the side of the Pure Vanilla Cookie. If you take that away, either the Miles or the Tessarion is going to do a lot of damage to a single target. But actually the sides, we have the reverse on that one. You have the sustain taken away on PINKROID's side, and we have some of the damage taken away from TIMBO.
Here we go, match 2, set 1, Europe Cup semi-final between TIMBO versus PINKROID. Going into this match right now, Miles taking the first turn. Jeremiah's going to be following up after. If there's any stuns, it does mean that he's going to get cleansed with Hey Gang on that field.
Yeah, even if you stun the Cookie right now, which I don't think you really go for, you go for the damage over there. Jeremiah taking its turn, but there's not going to be all too much protection. We have that slow on the Tessarion right now, which definitely lowers damage. And we also have that stun, but I'm not sure if the stun is going to stick.
Exactly, there was a resistance there on the side of Cigar as well, meaning that he does have all of those skills, can get the cool time in, decides to go for the provoke instead.
Oh, it takes that additional turn and therefore also cleansing off that stun, but also there's nothing sticking on the Tessarion right now. We have the third skill coming up from the Scar. Can you land them? Doesn't land neither of the pushback nor the increased cooldown, but does have the provoke, and we have Oblivion landing over there.
Exactly, so that means any damage going into the Unicorn now means that it's going to get reflected. Well, now it doesn't matter.
Yeah, now we're going to do a reset. We're resetting the full match back, and in this case, is it a better scenario for the Alexandra to start using the skill 2?
Exactly. She has the opportunity right now. She goes into it, and skill 2 is coming, say.
We have that Cigar moving right after, so if the Cigar isn't stunned or lands, can actually land it, Pony is going back. What's Despair stun, so there's no procs coming from that one. However, you need to do that a bunch more times to actually drop in that hard damage. And we have the Tessarion going for that skill with the Oblivion once again.
Raccoon doing so much work there, cleansing away a lot of the different debuffs that are on PINKROID's side. Skill 2 is available. Can he get stuns? Double stun.
Double stun, but those are the units that are most likely cleansed as well. In this case, if you switch, you're not going to get your attack bar back. So he doesn't decide, and that's a very high value stun right there.
That is a huge stun. Raccoon is going to probably start cleansing more of the things that he can, but Jeremiah's going to cut in. Can he take a turn and do some more damage into that Miles to try and get rid of it, say?
Yeah, it's damage into the Miles, but also damage into the Miles for Raccoon not to cleanse off that Tessarion. The moment that Tessarion is not cleansed off, you have like 3 rotations on that Alexandra. Raccoon is a very strong healer single target, but is not a great healer AoE. And every time that Alexandra goes for the skill 2 AoE, there's a lot of damage, there's a lot of stuns, there's a lot of things going around. And this Alexandra is doing a lot of work right now.
Yes, but Miles has an opportunity now. Can we get into there's not really too much damage coming out, and every time there's a passive, Heigang is getting pushed up on his side too, say.
Yeah, like Heigang in this position is becoming like a ragdoll. Every time that something happens, it's just attack bar, attack bar, attack bar. Normally, Alexandra doesn't like to take that much turns because it's kind of a slow unit. But in this case, it's taking so many turns. Everything, all the time, has those debuffs.
And can he get a stun right now as well? Just hitting into the Miles. Miles, again, there's just so much protection with all of these shields. Or, say, how do you get through Timbo's team here with your Pinkroid?
Well, if that Desarion lands a good moment for the skills, and this would be a very interesting moment, but there's still that Heigang skill too because of that time evolution.
Here we go. We've got skill 1 going in, pushing back that Desarion, making sure that he's not taking a turn. Shields back up, and we can transform. Is it going to be enough damage for anything?
Currently, it's still not enough damage. You have to do a little bit more. If you switch, you can take out that Raccoon. If you take out that Raccoon, I would say match is over. It will be very difficult. Oh, decides to go for, I would say, a risky play of getting Oblivion on you. You've seen it being countering before. If you have those counters on you, it definitely gets a lot more difficult. If you took out the Raccoon, on the other hand, the sliver of health on all of those units.
Here we go, Heigang coming in, skill 2. But what, this is all going down to the wire, say.
Yeah, it's definitely all so low on HP. We have the Desarion being boosted up right now, doing extra damage skill too. That is the sheer damage of the speed scaling that Desarion has over there. However, the Desarion is very low on damage. If you get one critter, if you get that one critter, doesn't get the critter, doesn't get the extra hit, but this will probably take out the Desarion. Doesn't take out the Desarion, can this take out the Desarion? The Desarion finally leaves the battlefield, and that might be the victory for PINKROID. However, we still have that Miles Raccoon. That is definitely a unit in a combination that is very strong. Can we take out the unit? Once again, by the sliver of health, getting a proc once again. With your boost of the Miles for that extra damage, taking out that Heigang. It is enough damage. Right now, we have that Jemaya. Jemaya gets finally that shield. You could ping pong it back and forth, but you actually go for the damage. No, it is not enough damage.
It might be. The proc comes in. Is it enough damage now?
It was enough damage, and that takes it out. Raccooni is definitely not going to win this. And if Raccooni gets to the point where he kills the Jemaya right now, we're going into a draw.
Oh, so we have to wait and see right now then, because if Jemaya is going down, it could go into the draw. This could take a little bit more time right now than we thought.
I definitely don't think we're going to 70-70. Like 60-60 means nothing. We're gonna wait for that 70-70. That is the moment because Timbo's Jemaya is actually very tanky. So there's also healing next to it. It's 5.6k. We need that 70-70. And we're just ping-ponging a bunch of S1s back and forth because those are what's healing. We also have healing of 3.7k on that Jemaya. And how much is this Raccooni doing S1? Raccooni is doing 9 on an S1. Yeah, we're not gonna take that.
That's not your S1 damage that you like to see, sir.
No, that's like, no. This is just gonna take a while, and you have about, I think it goes about like 20 or 30 turns in 70-70, which we hit right now before it hits that drop. If Jemaya goes for a proc at the right moment, which is very likely, and actually goes for those critters, if you crit right here, done match.
There we go. Wow. Timbo taking it 1-0 versus Pinkroid in this first set of the semi-final number 2. He's one step closer to Bangkok, but Pinky might have an answer who's going to that second set, say.
That was definitely a very interesting showcase. Especially that Raccooni cleansing all the time, boosting up that Heigang, boosting up the whole team. Alexandra taking multiple turns. Raccooni solo couldn't deal with all of that healing. Units were just like left, right, and center, lowering on HP, having all of those cleansing debuffs, attack debuffs, not doing too much damage. So much recovery from Timbo. Absolutely well drafted by Timbo right there.
Yeah, Timbo showing exactly. Pinkroid, I know you just had a clean sweep against the fan favorite over here in Paris, but I'm here to show you exactly what stands in your way. And here he had the Tian Lang and the Vanessa were banned in that first set. So they're obviously back as an option now. We see a Cigar and we see the Heigang banned out. So we said we were going to say their names a lot today. Not as much as we thought we'd say them, but we can say them now.
Yeah, but just definitely going to mention that as well. I thought these were the two, like people were asking me, like, what are the most contested units that we see? Well, of course, Han. But Heigang and Cigar were the ones that we popped up after that. Actually, we've seen a lot more like speed games with like Vanessas, Olivers, and any of those kind of units rather than really focus on that Heigang. But in this case, both of them are respect banned. More being picked up by Pinkroid. Timbo, do you want to go for speed lead? That's luck in the speed lead of a double Valkyrie comp. We've seen that being used a lot by actually an old SWC winner, BD.
There we go, double Valkyries. We've got Vanessa, we've got the Camilla. Just want to add in there as well, Pinkroid going with that more with a 55% win rate over SWC so far with 126 games. So definitely very statistically good for him. He's also pairing it up with a Chunk Pun. This looks again like a classic Pinkroid draft so far. Do you think he continues that, say?
I would definitely say so, but he locks it in with the Chiti and the Shung right now, and Chiti and the Shung is actually a very solid unit over here because that Hagen pre-ban is there. Because normally you would Hagen pre-ban against this. In this case, we have a Patar, or as someone just mentioned in backstage that it's Pater, but I like Patar a lot more, so I'm gonna go with that one. Sorry for you guys. And we have the segment being locked in as well, answering by the Suiki plus a Kinky, or are we going to go a different route?
Yeah, let's see, because we did have it before in the first match where PINKROID did go with double Omniuges, and the my mind, Ominushas, no? Onimushas, not on, yeah, this one, with Suiki, and Willie decided to go in for a Kinky as well, but it kind of tailors away from a traditional PINKROID draft, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I would also say that Raccoon is never really wrong, but it's also a really safe pick. So I feel that PINKROID is not really drafting in his comfortable space, what he was doing a lot more against Tutu. Against Tutu, it's just like full on power, let's go. Like nothing, like no left turns, no right turns, just full on power. But in this case, Timbo is showing that full on power with that Sonya as well.
Yeah, we had one Sonya that did go through now and did manage to do quite a lot of work, but it was responded back against Hans a lot.
Yep.
Will it manage to make its way through here against PINKROID?
Yeah, it's difficult to say. I would also say the Sonya damage output that we have seen over there was about 25k. 25k is probably not going to take out the units from PINKROID, but still respect band.
Here we go. Speedly's getting in 33% for Timbo, 24% on the side of PINKROID as we get into set number 2 of this match number 2, Europe Cup semi-finals. First turn, Sekhmet, does she land? Gets the insert cool time.
Gets the increased cool time, very important over there, but it's still not over there yet. There's still a lot of stuff going around. If we have that armor break right now, armor break into a skill from Camilla, it's a lot of damage, but we have that high resistance unit, which is Suiki.
Exactly, and Chungpong, if you take a few more additional turns, you're going to get closer to that third skill. Here we have the Patar, I'm going to use your name there, with the immunity buff up for 2 turns, which is obviously going to mean that he's not going to be able to land any of the debuffs or the defense breaks from that Suiki, unless they're stripped.
They were stripped, and one stunner over there as well, but Camilla can maybe return the favor. No armor break from over there. Can we stun it? Yes, that is one that we can stun, and also slow. Armor breaks across the field. Oh, not too many.
But the glancing now on that Patar, and obviously the cleanse there from the Raccoon, just on both of it.
Yeah, definitely there, but the one that I'm looking at right now, Suiki is on about like 10-ish stacks. It's still not max stacked over there, but it could do a lot of damage already if you decide to go for that skill too. How much are we looking at? That's a good chunk of the health of Timbo already.
Wow, so you cannot let him take another turn at the moment with that skill too, I would say. So he's going to be looking to see if he can probably get some cool times from a Sekhmet.
Yeah, you definitely have to be careful. That it's also very difficult, like there's not really a core unit that can do a lot of damage to that Suiki. It's going to be that Camilla, but the Raccoon is actually better placed than I gave credit for in the draft, because it's just doing so much that the Suiki cannot really be controlled.
Here we go, we've got an attack break on the Chongpong, but that Suiki coming in, gets defense break. We've got a little bit of healing coming in from Patar. Second skill.
It's a decent amount of damage, but it's not really up there. And also, most units start scaling more damage the longer the fight is. In the case of Patar, it's not the case, because he's scaling from your own max HP.
And if your HP is going less because you've got a Suiki on the other side of the field, taking half of it away, it's not going to last very long.
Yeah, that's definitely a difficult uphill battle right now. You can place an armor break anywhere right now. Once again, try to place on the Suiki. Definitely identifies it as the strongest target on the field. Can you stun it right now? Skill 1 stun. Oh, goes for the other unit, but that one was stunned.
Exactly, with different one, but we still called it there. But Suiki now, skill 1 going to take out. Oh!
Decides to spread the damage, and spreading the damage does a lot of damage on the Patar. We have a skill 2 for that more coming up, taking out 2 units. Wow. And we have the double Valkyries trying to survive. But we have one of the 2 Valkyries also almost being a confirmed kill. And that's definitely not a 2v4 that you would like to play.
Exactly, it's going to be 1-1. We can see it right now as the Wild Dance comes in, because Camilla's not going to be able to, I think, tank through 4 units on the other side of the field today.
Yeah, most likely not. Currently, she's kind of, once again, looking like an arena defense. She's kind of stalling the match. She's taking a bunch of additional turns, but she's definitely not going to win it.
Exactly. They're playing it out all the way through. Maybe right now it's the time for Timbo to have a think, a bit of a reflection, see exactly what went wrong there. There wasn't too much damage and any follow-up in any of the things that he was doing. And PINKROID always had the Suiki coming through with more stacks, because Timbo's been taking a lot more turns. And his finals there, 1-1, PINKROID versus Timbo in our semi-final. Set number 2.
Yeah, definitely very well counted of seeing like, okay, Camilla is very strong the moment we start critting. But if we just don't crit in the sense of a Suiki, it's pretty much dealt with already. Plus, That one is very well ruined. It's doing a lot of damage, it's at 100 resistance, it's tanking a lot of hits. Raccoon is just cleansing that up. And in this case, we had the Raccoon as a single target healer, but there was no AoE damage. And I think that was the big difference between this match and last match. Last match, a lot of AoE damage from that Alexandra. This match, single target damage, but Raccoon can deal with that.
Exactly. Well, we're not going to see Alexandra in this match, unfortunately. It has been pre-banned out, and Pinky, Timbo has decided to go for the Tian Lang, which means that PINKROID won't have that available in his back pocket, even though he didn't actually use it in the last match. We do now see Haegang first pick by Timbo. Will PINKROID look to steal any cigar?
Cigar, definitely. We even hear it from the French casters behind it. We actually hear it through our microphone or through our headsets. They are thinking the same thing. We have the cigar and we have a pretty early pick on that Shizuka.
Do we see something now like maybe of a Chongpeng, or are we going to go for a speed trying to contest with an Etna or something, say?
I would definitely say that a Juno fits to counter everything that's on the field right now, but it might be getting countered later. So I'm not entirely sure. Timbo in this case goes more for like a safe-ish pick of saying like, okay, we have the Jemaya in there. I also don't want you to pair a Shizuka plus a Jemaya, which is very deadly, and steals that Raccoon as well.
Exactly, stealing that Raccoon, it played off realistically in that last set. In the first set, not so much, but like you were saying, there was spread damage across the field, whereas in that last set, single target damage, Raccoon can help with this. He's managing to heal all the way back up whoever you take him further down in the health. Fengyan and then Antara very quickly locked in.
I would say that this is actually something that PINKROID has been playing more in ladder. It looks really weird, but the trick behind this is Antares goes for crit rate buff, attack buff. Shizuka can later spread that. That is definitely very strong. But in this case, from the side of Timbo, going into those AoE strippers that provide all of the buffs to debuffs, which the Praha does, the Juno does, is definitely very strong to pick up right here.
Oh my god, that's just throwing a spanner in the works for Timbo. You saw his reaction, but he comes back with the Julian and the Juno.
Yeah, I would definitely say that, that the Juno is definitely something that might be banned right here, but Timbo's also not showing all too much damage if you remove the Julian.
Oh, and
PINKROID is going to add more damage on that Mayo Wing. So once again, Timbo's going to take a lot of turns that don't really matter all too much. PINKROID adapted to that very well, that Antares actually answers to that. This is not a Luxac Antares pick, this is actually very smart Antares pick right here.
Here we go, match 2, set 3, PINKROID 1, Timbo 1. Will Antares be the answer, say? You've already just called it there.
Well, I definitely do think I have seen the Antares of PINKROID. If he still has the same thing, if it's stunned, it's a little bit less successful. But I would say that PINKROID or Timbo's going to take a lot of turns, even though all of these stunts, like I would say all of these stunts don't really matter all too much. You can stun quite a bunch, but all of these turns, like you control 3-4 units by now. But what actually happened to the attack or to the HP bars? Near to nothing, right? And on the other side, we take 1 or 2 turns and HP bars are half.
Exactly, and you can see there just the damage that came out from the Fengyan already right there. And Antares is taking some turns, but we're going to be able to heal for the moment. Is he going to put it on himself? No. Oh, he's back.
Antares AoE skill, a lot of damage going in there, and Raccoon is not that great of healer, once again AoE, so that's also the thing. PINKROID doesn't really have to do all too many skills, you just a little bit of skill once. Okay, you get stunned here and there, definitely not beneficial for him, but even that Fengyan does so much damage that it just takes out units.
Oh my god, this is looking like not a crazy Antares pick.
No,
this is not a crazy.
No. That's absolutely a very well-placed Antares pick, because you know your enemy is taking a lot of turns, but a lot of turns. PINKROID took Timbo took so many turns, but what happened? Like 1 unit is half HP. Antares is not even taking so many turns, like it doesn't even matter. Okay, we have a quad despair stun, but I would still say PINKROID's draft is so strong that he can get away. Like even that, I would say it doesn't even matter too much.
Let's see then. So now we need to start getting some more. Oh, see, he's got a little bit of an answer. There is a glancing on there as well, though.
Yeah, the glancing is there. You definitely have to take out the Raccoon. The Raccoon is an annoying factor, but even through glancing, half HP if you go for the triplet. Antares, however, is stunned all the time. But,
exactly. As soon as you can stun him, he's not going to be able to do any damage there.
Yeah, you cannot really go for those Shizuka skill 3s, but look at this damage. Skill 1, probably still on the Raccoon. If you let arm break first, doesn't go for it though. Pretty interesting to not go for it. But I think he's kind of trying to bait out strips.
Yeah.
The moment you bait out the strip and you can use your skill 3 more effectively, then it would be very nice. But until that time, you're kind of just working with it. I could say that you go for a boost up on the Juno right now. I think that's pretty, because now full HP Antares, you did so much work to get Antares. Antares taking 2-3 turns, and that just takes it down. He was just waiting for that, and it was coming. It was definitely a long time coming, but the amount of stuns that the Antares ate and still made it work definitely shows that this was a very well planned out pick.
Wow, super confident by PINKROID there, managing to swing it back now to 2-1 against Timbo in this Semi-final at the Europe Cup, wow. Antari's not as a pick that you would expect like that, sir. I like it.
No, actually, it's a pick that you see a lot more into those comps. Like if you have Raccoonis in there, and a lot of those units that don't really do too much with their turns, but they take a lot of turns. Raccoon is definitely one of those. And yeah, that's just very well answered by an Antares.
Yeah, you can see right there how much it played off for PINKROID's effect and the amount of damage that that one was doing. We're going to have to check on some of the runes on that afterwards.
I know the runes on that one, and that one is magnifique.
Okay, well, hey, a little bit of Francais, eh? Adam Savage getting a bit jealous over there, we can see. We've got here Keaton Dashang being banned out on the side of Timbo already, and Haegang being banned out. Does that mean we're going to see a Sagar first pick from PINKROID, or do you think he's going to stick to something of his more?
No, they definitely do like in this matchup. It's okay. But then the Sagar goes to Timbo in this case. That is pretty sure, I would say.
Yeah, let's see then. Timbo has a little bit more time since PINKROID managed to lock that in very quickly, actually, if you look on there with the Vanessa. It's a bit of a different one from his draft. We know that his more is used. Ooh, early pick of the Julian.
I definitely do like the early pick of the Julian for the sense that we've seen it being picked in slot like 4 and 5, and that's mainly when the draft was kind of revolving around to it, where it doesn't really fit anymore. Like you want to draft this unit more often, it has the best runes, but if you draft it very late, your team or the team composition of the enemy might be already very hard countering. Now PINKROID, with every draft that he has to do, has to keep in mind, okay, I have to deal with the Julian, it's already on the field, and Timbo can build a stronger and stronger team fitting around the Julian right now.
There we go, we see a classic again PINKROID draft. We've got the Maw, we've got this Chung Pung. We know exactly how he likes to use these and how much damage and speed that they carry through with that in the rune efficiency. We see in Timbo now, like you said, it's drafted early with that Julian. Who's he going to look to partner that up with, say? Do you think there's any pure vanilla cookies coming through?
That is definitely, as you call pure vanilla cookies, that definitely does happen. But we have to have the thing where you have to have 2 damage dealers, and Feng Yang is that 2nd damage dealer already. If you didn't, ooh, that is a counter and a half right there for Rocky. And adding that up with that Sean, I definitely do like that Rocky. But that is, once again, we go into that mindset, that mind game. Who is pre-banning who? Because if you pre-ban the Julian or the Rocky's pre-ban, but the other did not, as we've seen in the hand slot match with the Rika, can really determine the outcome just by that ban in the end.
Exactly, mind games going on right now. Whoa. This is going to be crazy because if he gets to go through, we've got a Camilla as well coming through there, sir.
Yeah, the Camilla we saw it the last few times, but I don't really see the Camilla that strong in this case, I would say, because the Chung Pung is there for the pushbacks. We have a lot of those units that can kind of deal with the Camilla, and maybe another unit, like for example a Vert, if you were to ban the Sean, might have been stronger, but let's see what this Camilla can do.
There's mind games, it's going to go down to the last seconds here, say, I'm pretty sure, because you do not want to give away exactly, maybe even looking over what position of your finger is just to give it away. Camilla and the Raki.
So that is the mind game in this case, I would say won by Timbo because he banned out the unit and PINKROID expected the ban on the other side as well, but he had to go for the respect ban on that Camilla.
Here we go, 2-1 PINKROID in our set 4 semi-final. Vanessa going first, can she land that defense break? Does land it. More following up, oh, triple stuns.
Triple stun, and that is huge for PINKROID. Also, once again, full pushing back fire, getting AoE armor break across the field. In this case, you don't even have to go for a skill tree. You can still go for a skill tree to get that speed buff in. Doesn't even have to do it, and does so much damage on Feng Yang.
This is so classic PINKROID right now. I don't know how else to say it. We get Shang coming in stun 3. We're going to get that kill. Oh, not quite.
Not quite there. Gets another additional turn on that unit. Julian, you have to make up some work. Can you stun the Shang? Can stun the Shang. Good damage on that as well, but the armor breaks are still sticking and no Vioprox on the side of Timbo.
Exactly, and there's just not so much health on the side. We need that cookie to start taking some turns, but it's not going to be able to because it's getting pushed back every single time. And the health of that Julian is gone. Wow!
And there we have our victor in PINKROID going once again to the World Finals.
Wow, stunning. That's what it was, that last matchup. Stunning. PINKROID just cannot be stopped. He's going to the World Finals again.